When it comes to the Street Fighter franchise, there are a few characters that pack the same punch that Balrog does, and today we're going to be discussing that character here on the channel. Welcome to Melody Llama, and again today we're going to be discussing Balrog of the Street Fighter series. Whenever the leader isn't dead or he doesn't fuck up, Balrog is part of the Shadaloo organization, which is pretty much the main baddies in the Street Fighter universe. First thing we're going to talk about when it comes to Balrog is going to be his character design, because obviously we know what's inspired by. It's clearly inspired by Mike Tyson. For those of you who don't know, his original name was supposed to be M. Bison, but for fears of copyright and things like that, they decided that it was a bit too on the nose with Mike Tyson, M. Tyson of course, so they decided to go with Balrog, which I think honestly just suits him even more. While his classic look is very solid, and this one again is very similar to the Mike Tyson character, his other design from Street Fighter V I think is a lot stronger of a design. The way we have him with the kind of Creed looking boxing hoodie, it's sleeveless, so you get to see the muscles and shit like that. Balrog just looks like a beast in the Street Fighter V outfit. Not to say that he doesn't with the original outfit, the Street Fighter 4 and before outfit, but again, I think Street Fighter V looks pretty incredible, but that's just me. Now, if by the end of this video you are a fan of Balrog, then I recommend checking out the Behind the Glory video on Balrog. It's kind of this documentary in-universe about the Balrog character, and kind of dives into his backstory and his current standing within the Street Fighter verse. It's a pretty good watch. Now, Balrog ends up joining the Shadaloo organization, not because he just really likes the Shadaloo organization, but it's mainly because he's banned from boxing because he ended up taking someone's life. This meant that he was pretty broke and he didn't have any really other way to receive income. So joining Shadaloo was, I guess, the best idea he came up with. Why Shadaloo ended up hiring this guy is probably because the guy is capable of killing an elephant. I believe one of the elephants is one of Dawson's elephants that he kills, which is just, dude, why? What do you get? What do you gain from that? Now, to be completely honest, Balrog was a not good leader of Shadaloo at all. After M. Bison is, out of the picture, he takes over Shadaloo for a while and is just plain terrible at it, okay? This guy has no business acumen. He's pretty slow. So, obviously, he's reduced to, a hire. In Street Fighter V, he goes on to be a random member of Shadaloo. I mean, how he even abandons the dolls. The dolls being these, creations from Shadaloo, meant to be kind of like pseudo-bodies for M. Bison, the leader. And they're basically these group of assassins, and Balrog was supposed to watch over them, but he ends up failing that as well, and ends up, running away. But he does take in Ed, and I think that Ed is the best thing that happened to Balrog. Now, Ed is a bit of a complicated character, but just to sum it up, he's, again, another psycho energy created child that has powers like M. Bison, likely to be another body for him. But, when Balrog ends up taking him in, he pretty much acts like a mentor or big bro kind of figure to Ed, even though Ed is probably smarter than him. Now, it's not often that Balrog feels like a regular human being, but with Ed, that does seem to change. He does seem to genuinely care about him. Around this point, he meets Fong. Fong is pretty much M. Bison's #1 glazer, and Balrog does not like this guy. This guy is annoying, which most of the fan base also think he's annoying. Me, I think Fong's okay. I don't hate him as much as everyone else, but Balrog is one of those people that hates him as well. So he finds him annoying, so he and Balrog end up having a battle, which Balrog does come out on top in, which isn't that surprising considering we're going to talk about something else Balrog does, which is very, very questionable. But yeah, he defeats Fong, and around this time, Ed finds out he can, disintegrate shit. He has, psycho powers and all that. This is kind of where Ed really realizes he has these powers, because prior to this, Balrog doesn't really know what he is. He just took him in originally because he had the Shadaloo symbol on him, and that's what made Balrog want to take him in. Now he finds out, yeah, this kid might have some potential to him. But after dealing with Fong, he kind of gets sick of working with Shadaloo. He starts getting irritated, and so then this leads him to taking jobs from Urien for a while. And Urien himself is another, like, big bad almost. He is part of the Illuminati, which is kind of another big organization in conjunction. Not conjunction, they're not really working with Shadaloo, but in terms of the Street Fighter organizations, there's Shadaloo and there's the Illuminati. But what I find very interesting here is that Urien makes it so that Balrog has to fight Necalli. Necalli's a weird character because Necalli feels uber powerful and uber weak at the same time. He pretty much picks up no major victory in all of Street Fighter V. He runs away from M. Bison. Akuma breaks through his body. Ryu one-shots him. And then there's the fact that, he's pushed back by Dhalsim. And in Balrog's story, he's pushed back by Balrog as well. Balrog is strong, don't get me wrong, but he's nowhere near top tier. He's nowhere near the level of a Vega or even a Ken or a Cammy. So to see Balrog also push Necalli back really makes me question where Necalli fits on the list of power, which is sad because Necalli was supposed to be hype. But you know what? We'll talk about Necalli another day. For today, that's just a good win for Balrog. Now, funny enough, I do kind of like the trio of Balrog, Vega, and Fong. I wish we could see more interaction between Fong and Vega because I would like it if maybe, like, Fong viewed Vega as annoying because he's, like, pompous or whatever. Because then it would become like a triangle of annoyance, like Fong annoys Balrog, Balrog annoys Vega, and it'd be kind of funny if Vega annoys Fong, but kind of hard to annoy the most annoying character of the trio. But yeah, I like their duo. They're all very different characters in the way they fight and all that stuff. So yeah, the trio of Vega, Balrog, and Fong is pretty cool with M. Bison leading the helm. And I know people are kind of sick of Shadaloo, but I always found Shadaloo to be a really strong organization for the franchise. Do they need kind of a break? Would I like to see a different group of villains take over? Of course, and I know that JP was kind of disappointing. We'll talk about that another day as well, but I always found Shadaloo to be a strong group of villains. So this leads us to Street Fighter V and his role in that game, which isn't really much. He's kind of just the muscle for Shadaloo. He battles Zangief, which is pretty cool. Zangief has an impressive showing where he uses the, what was it called? The muscle power? I forgot what it was, but he's able to guard one of Balrog's strongest attacks, and that's pretty cool as well. But he's hard to beat, though. Balrog seems to be stunned constantly. He's never really defeated outright. Later in the story, he battles Ibuki and Armika at the same time. And, he does very well for himself in this fight as well. As far as where he is now, it seems that he's no longer a part of Shadaloo at all. Considering the organization is kind of deep fried by the time where we are in Street Fighter 6. So I'm interested to see if Balrog is going to be a DLC character. I would love him to be a DLC character alongside Vega. I think if those two are in the same pack, it'd just be, it makes sense. But where the Balrog character can go next is very interesting because I can definitely see kind of a redemption arc coming for the character because of his relationship with Ed. But let me know what you guys think of the Balrog character. Is he your favorite of the Shadaloo trio? Or is that not the case? You guys not really like Balrog? Let me know down below. Next video will likely be another, maybe Fong. We'll see who I choose next. But who do you guys want to see next? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff. And again, let me know down below who you guys want me to talk about next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Bye.